Hello, good morning, greetings everybody. Welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So it's Thursday, and I'm going to be doing the episode of What's New Now. I've been waiting a while to do this album because I've heard lots of good stuff about it already, and I knew that he was going to be putting this out, and we're talking about Steve Hackett and The Circus and The Night Whale. That's the title of the album. Definitely an album, having listened to the entire thing, it's definitely an album I want to have. I was pretty sure that was going to be the case even before I listened to the album, but now I'm definitely all in. Okay, was released February the 16th, 2024, so not too long ago. Pretty fairly new. On the Siren, it was recorded at Siren Studios in the United Kingdom. It's about 45 minutes in length on the Inside Out music label. So you have appearing on this album, of course, Steve Hackett. He's playing all 12 and 6-string guitars at points in the album. Some acoustic guitar, some mandolin, bass, harmonica, percussion, all those things he's doing. Robert King playing keyboards, orchestra, and orchestral arrangements, doing them. Rob Townsend on saxophone, Jonas Reingold on bass, Nad Sylvan on vocals, Craig Blundell on drums. Okay, and there's also some other musicians playing at various parts, at different parts of the album as well, including Amanda Lehman on vocals, Nick DiVirgilio, on drums, Hugo Degenhardt on drums as well, Benedict Fenner on keyboards at points as well, and I wrote down Malik Mansurev, but I forgot to put down what he played. Yeah, some people aren't too swift on the ball here. John Hackett on the flute as well. Okay, so this album has a lot of variety on it. You've got everything from acoustic bits and small instrumental bits through some poppy kind of a proggy stuff, and then you've got a lot of harder kind of rocky stuff as well on here. Really, I think this is one of his better hard rock albums. He's got a lot of different sounds going on here. I think also his lead and solo parts are among his best I've heard. All really good stuff. The vocals are very forward on this album, frontal, so up front and center. They're not kind of in the background. Yeah, really strong vocal album, I think. And I think overall this is probably one of his heaviest and one of his best albums. It's really well constructed and really well put together, I think. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the tracks. So there's quite a few tracks on here. I think there's like 13 tracks in total on here. I'll try to go through as many of them as I deem necessary to go through. The opening track, People of the Smoke. This really gets my attention because it starts with that kind of 1940-ish big band kind of sound, or well, maybe not the music part, but the kind of feeling for that era of music starts out that way, which is really kind of gets my attention right away. Some heavy keyboard and guitar parts on this song. It's one of the heavier, catchier tracks overall, I think. Steve's using his tapping sound on this that have become almost famous with Eddie Van Halen there. And then it ends with this bell, which is, I guess, this is the end. Bing! The Passing Clouds is the next one. It's an instrumental, kind of a symphonic opening with some nice kind of melodic guitar parts in this part as well. Just kind of getting a bit of a melodic atmosphere going, I guess. Taking You Down is the next track, one of my favorites on the album. More melodic, whining, heavy guitar sound here, really well. Vocals are very strong on this particular track. Some nice sax here by Townsend as well. Heavy song, I think, and the solo was very metal-like. Like it's a very almost heavy metal sound to it. Great track. Next up, Found and Lost. And it's an acoustic classical bit, just a short acoustic classical bit with some keyboard support synthesizers here. It's kind of a slow melodic song, I think, very slow part. Really in the mid-range kind of vocal part, well, not vocal part, but up front stuff. It's not really a dominating song, but it's still pretty good. Enter the Ring is a nice piano, keyboard, guitar, very almost medieval sounding this track, with some harmonical vocals on this part that are really kind of catchy and dominating on this particular track as well. You have some very forward and strong guitar solo on this song as well. Next track up is one of my favorites again, another really good track, Get Me Out. Heavy guitar, almost a sinister piano sound to it too. Sorry, not piano. Almost a sinister guitar sound to it as well. The vocals are almost crooner-like, almost like a Frank Sinatra type thing going on here. It's got that, the guitar has that kind of a raw sound to it, you know, like it's not being fed through synthesizers, it's not being overdubbed too much. It's just a raw guitar sound, really good. Definitely a superior song on this album, I think. The next track up is probably my favorite track on the album, and there's a reason why, and you'll know in a second. Ghost, Moon, and the Living Love. This album is very operatic and symphonic opening. The vocals are very forward, very strong. This is a very Genesis-like song. Would have fit perfectly on that Trick of the Tail album. I think it sounds very much like that. Absolutely love it. And that's, as soon as I heard this track, that made me, like, I was already going to buy it. Now I want to get it because I really think this is a great tune. Next up we have Circo Inferno. And this little mandolin, I think it's a mandolin part. It sounds like a mandolin. It could be maybe just a toned down, speedy kind of guitar part, but it sounds like a mandolin to me. It's got a very heavy interplay with an almost oriental sound to it, this particular track. It's an instrumental as well, very short bit. Little bit longer than some of the other short bits, but just basically a short bit. Some nice heavy drum part on this as well. The next track out, Breakout, another short bit, another instrumental. You got like 3 of them in a row here. Heavy guitar, strong kind of a metal flavor to it in some parts of the song. The solo and the drums are very catchy. The next track is All at the Sea, another instrumental. Yet all these instrumentals are around 2 to 1.5 to 2.5 minutes in length, not longer. Most of them are under 2 minutes, to be honest. This one is another one under 2 minutes. Another dominating guitar opening, very catchy. Another kind of heavy, kind of heavy with some keyboard and synthesizer parts here as well. Yeah, I just really like this track a lot, and of course it has that kind of by the sea feel to it. Into the Night Whale, which is the next track, is third last track on the album. Very heavy, foreboding, lots of synthesizer here, then some melodic heavy beat to the whole song. You've got this orchestral part that in the song, you've got some strong upfront vocals. So this is, I think, the song. I could be wrong here, but I think it's definitely, if it isn't the song, it's one of the songs on the album that they use a lot of that orchestral stuff, like the flute, some drums, some keys, maybe some piano. I don't know if there's some piano here. I think I remember. But anyways, really, really catchy song. Next up, we have Wherever You Are. This has a nice strong vocal opening, sorry, with some heavy guitar riffing and soloing here. And the drums, The drums are particularly kind of strong on this particular track as well. And then it ends off with White Dove, which is an acoustic guitar part. This is one of the actually really good tracks on the album. It's not like most of the rest of the album. It's more like what you would expect to hear from Steve Hackett. Very kind of classical acoustic guitar bit that goes on throughout the entire track with a nicely used mandolin in the background, just adding a flavor to the whole song. Really tastefully done. This is a well orchestrated song. I loved it. I think this whole album is just a killer album. Definitely at this point in the year, it's still early. We're still only in the second month of February. I've done maybe 7 or 8 albums. This one's definitely the front runner for the best album of the year for me at this point in time. Whether it ends up there or not, I don't know, but it definitely is going to be a strong contender for that spot. Anyways, there you have it. Steve Hackett's The Circus and the Night Whale, released very recently, February 16th. I hope you get a chance to go online and listen to it, but even if you don't, I highly recommend that. This is an album you're going to want to have to play regularly. I definitely want to. I will make my trip fairly soon up to my favorite record store. I know they'll have this album, and this album will be on my shelf by sometime in probably March, early March. Anyways, glad to have had you aboard today. Please hit the like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. Any comments about this album, if you've had a chance to listen to it, or about Steve Hackett, or about some of the people on the album, if you want, please leave the comments in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next Thursday for another What's New album. Take care.